Hey y'all, and welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. So our title today is going to be You Can't Have Everything. For me, it's on page 104 and 105. So I'll give you a second to find it if you have this little book. We're reading from this little book, Hold Me Up a Little Longer, Lord, by Marjorie Holmes. And the reason I tell y'all the title and the page, because some of you have gotten this book and said your page numbers don't line up with the ones that I have. So it's crazy, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so let's just see how the Lord is going to talk to us today. You can't have everything. I thought this woman had everything, Lord. The perfect house, the perfect children, the perfect marriage, even the perfect career. I used to envy her. However, I tried not to. I used to come home from a party where she and her husband had danced so beautifully together, seemed so much in love, or from their home where everything was so exquisite, or the school where their son got all the honors, or the studio where her paintings had been on exhibit, and feel a pang of resentment. Life's so unfair, I used to think. Why should one person have so much? But now I'm shocked to discover that nobody, not even this woman, has everything. That behind the perfect marriage, the walls of that perfect house have been problems and agonies nobody suspected. Her husband is an alcoholic. They've been hiding it for years. Their son, that perfect son, got into trouble and has disappeared. Their daughter has leukemia. She may not live. Things this woman has endured in silence, been too proud or courageous to reveal. And oh Lord, I'm so ashamed of the moments of jealousy I felt. My heart is heavy with guilt. My whole being aches for her. Please bless and help her, this woman I thought had everything. Put your arms around her family and show me how, without intruding, I can help them. And whenever I'm tempted to compare my lot with others, let me remember that appearances can be deceiving. Each life has its drawbacks and its burdens, Lord. Don't let me ever forget nobody has everything. Wow, this is so fitting for today's time. In the time of social media, you got the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the TikToks, the YouTube, all of that. And I myself have been caught up in being quote unquote deceived by what I see and thinking like Marjorie Holmes thought, they just have everything. It's just perfect. Look at their house, look at their yard, look at their family, look at their relationship. They have no struggles, no financial woes, nothing bothers them. Everything just always works out. Guilty. I have been so guilty of being deceived by that as well. But thank God, with age comes wisdom, and with a prayer life comes wisdom. I've been guilty of this even as recent as, a few years ago. But thank the Lord, through prayer and my relationship with Him, He has done several things. First of all, He's made me content with myself and my life, which I think contentment is priceless. I no longer try to, I don't know how to word it. Not like put on a show, but try to make it appear that everything is just perfect and we're just, this perfect couple and this perfect house with these perfect children and this perfect life and just everything is just, perfect. No, we're real people with real struggles, real problems. We have a healthy relationship, which means we don't always agree. We sometimes disagree. We sometimes get in arguments. We sometimes get in just downright fights, not fist fights or physical fights, but just fights. But we also know how to love and forgive and make up and ask for forgiveness. And, it's just real life. And our kids aren't perfect, but they're great people. They are thriving adults. They're all successful in their careers and their lives and their marriages. But they're still human beings, and they too have flaws, and I'm not blind to that either. I certainly am not blind to my flaws, but I don't focus on them, you know. And then, you know, the Lord has let me see that people generally only put out their best for others to see, like on the Instagram and Facebook and TikToks and YouTube and this and that. Very rarely will you have people that just show you all of their dirt in real life. You have some who are just downright real and share it all. Very few of those though. Most of them only put forth that perfect everything. And we don't always know what's really deep down inside, what's really going on behind those closed doors. And, you know, even as real as I am on my channel, there are times that there's just things I don't share because it is just too personal. That does not mean that I'm being fake or not real. There are just some things that are just needs to stay in and in our home and not to be aired out for everyone to see. So I'm thankful that the Lord has brought me to this place of self-contentment and being content in my life. That is a true great gift from God. Do I still look at pictures and think, wow, that is beautiful? You know, I wish mine looked like that, or I wish, you know, I had that, or yeah. I mean, that's just human nature. But I no longer obsess over it. And obsess is a very strong word. It's not that I ever obsessed over it, but I don't let it affect me. You get what I'm saying? And instead, I'm just thankful for those who have it. And, you know, I'll use back to my yard as an example. I used to look at all these pictures of these people or videos or shows or whatever. All these people have these beautiful yards, and mine was just anything but. And I would sit there and think, man, I wish I had that. I wish, you know, it must be nice to have a beautiful yard like that. I wish mine looked like that and this and that. And then finally one day I was like, well, you know what? It can. It's just going to take some elbow grease. And so I've just began making my little yard our little haven, and I love it. It's not perfect, and it's not for everybody, and it's not everybody's style and taste. And, you know, there are people that would do things differently, and that's fine. That's what makes this world so beautiful, is the different, I had the word on the tip of my tongue and it left me. But if everything was the same, it would be so boring. And that's what makes, you know, this world interesting, is we're all unique and special, and we all have our own likes and dislikes. And that does not mean that I can't look at a picture now and think, oh, I like that. I might try to incorporate that into my yard. Or I never thought about doing it like that. That's a great idea. I might try to do that, but put my own spin on it, you know? But we truly never, ever know what is really going on behind closed doors and what's really going on inside another person. And I think that is why it is so important that we don't look at others with envy and covetousness, but we look at others with, you know, we can be thankful and happy for them. But we can also, if it's something that they have that we like, that interests us, we can always incorporate that into our lifestyle if it fits, you know. But I've said many, many times, and I believe it, I lived it, I know it to be true, comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison will just suck every bit of joy out of your life if you allow it. And I do believe comparison is a weapon and a tool the devil uses to hurt us. There is a healthy comparison, and then there's a destructive comparison. The healthy comparison, what I'm talking about, is like, okay, yeah, I've been on this like fitness journey, and so I have my beginning where I started, and so I can go back and compare. That's a healthy comparison, because I'm not hurting anybody, I'm not deceiving anybody, I'm not hurting myself by that. I'm just seeing how far I've come, right? But then there's the unhealthy comparison where you look at others and you look at their life and you try to compare your life, your worth, compare it to theirs. And that is very unhealthy. We all are individuals. Even as much as James and I are so much alike and think the same way and have the same taste and opinions and even can finish each other's sentences, we still are individuals and have our own likes and dislikes. And there are things that he does not like that I like, and vice versa. And this world would be so boring if everybody liked everything the same, did everything the same, looked at everything the same way. It would just be so boring. I love the variety and I love the individuality. And like Marjorie Holmes, I have found myself caught up in situations like this. Like when she says, that she was at a party and seen this lady and her husband dance so beautifully together and they seemed so much in love. And, when in reality, she was living with an alcoholic husband. That does not mean they didn't love each other, but that was her reality. And I have found myself comparing my relationship with James to other people's relationships with their husbands. And I was like, you have got to stop this. And the Lord, thank goodness, thank God, helped me with that. Because, James is James and I'm me. We're not those other people. We are who we are. And of course, our relationship is not going to look like their relationship. That does not mean we don't love each other as much as they love each other at all. But we are us and they are them, So this is such a great reminder that we really don't know everything that's going on behind closed doors with other people. We don't know what battles and struggles they deal with. We don't know the things the Lord has given them to deal with, their battles that they have to pray against. We don't know what they're going through, just like others don't know what we ourselves are going through and what battles we have to take to the Lord. We just never know. And that's why it is so important that we're always kind to everyone, because we truly don't know what battles. Marjorie Holmes had no idea this woman was living with an alcoholic husband, that her son had got into trouble and disappeared, and her daughter had leukemia and may not even live. Marjorie Holmes had no idea about that. Instead, she only saw the perfect picture this lady painted of her life. But it was after she learned some things about this lady that she was able to really do a self-check and get herself okay, wait a minute. Here I am comparing myself to this lady and I truly don't even know everything that's going on. And I'm comparing myself to this, compared to her life. My life seems pretty good. My kids are healthy. My husband's not an alcoholic. He works a steady job. My son is, he's not perfect, but he's not in trouble. My daughter's healthy. So, who really has the better outcome, And I think that that's how in reality it really is. If the Lord allowed us to actually see everything in that person's life that we are comparing our life to, we might realize, you know what? I thought they had it all, but actually, I really have it all. Thank you, Lord, for this life that you've given me. And it just kind of puts all that in perspective for me. So that does not mean that I'm not going to look at pictures and look at people's yards and say, oh my goodness, that's beautiful. But I'm also going to be thankful for my little backyard that the Lord has given me the strength to be able to do, the excitement to do it, and He's blessed me with free or clearance plants. So He's helped me in every way He could. Now it's up to me and how I take the gifts that He's given me and how I use them. So this was a good one. Lord, please, please, please help me not to compare my life with others, but instead be thankful for the blessings you have given me. And to pray for those who I think have it all, that they truly do have it all, Lord, that there's nothing like this going on in their life. Just bless us all, Lord. Help us all, Lord. You know, that's it. At the end of the day, just help us all. Help us all to be the best that we can absolutely be for you, Lord. Have your perfect will in all of our lives. And we rebuke the devil from using comparison to rob our joy. Not going to let him do it. I love y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I pray this blesses you. I pray it makes sense. Lord, please let it make sense. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.